Yeah. And it's like, and once someone has sort of abused you in a certain way, it's so much easier for them to do it again because they've crossed the line. It's sort of like that book you're reading on the child called It. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, you read that if you're familiar with it, is, you know, for everyone that's not familiar, it's an extreme case of child abuse that, you know, and you kind of like, how could this mother do this to this boy? And she didn't treat the other kids like this, and what was going on? And it's like, well, once you've done it to someone, now it's easier to keep on doing it to them.
Right.
And it's a weird psychological thing that happens with us, but it's like, you know, once you've done it, you know, that's why the once a cheater, always a cheater is also a thing, like, you know, because but it's more contextual. Once you've cheated on someone, you're more likely to cheat on that same person. Now, yeah, obviously you're more likely to cheat in general. I get it. But I'm saying that in that specific case, that's why it becomes a thing. And that's why when you take someone back who's already, like, for example, in this situation, if a woman has been extremely disrespectful to you as a man, and you take her back and she says, I'm going to be respectful, I apologize, whatever. She's already crossed some boundaries. If she's already called you, said, I hate
and
you.
And she probably still doesn't look at you in a respectful light.
Right.
She's going to try to convince herself.
Right.
Which isn't her actually believing it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, so that's where it's like some things are better just leave it and move on. But like I said, the only thing that I will say to go for it is if you feel like it's the relationship for you, like your soulmate, the person you're supposed to be with, and that they still love and care about you. Because that's the thing is, like, I always felt like you loved me and you cared about me, and that never went away.
Yeah.
And if it had, then we'd probably wouldn't be here right now. But it didn't. So that's the difference. And I think that you can tell where someone really loves you, but they're going through a hard time, or, you know, something's going on in their life, versus someone doesn't really respect you or always show you love. And then now they're like breaking up with you. And it's like, should you really go back to that? Like, is it worth going back to?
Right. Yeah.
Like, because you have to look at it like, if I go back to this relationship and it turns out the exact same, am I going to be pissed and leave again?
Right.
If you genuinely think you're going to go back and it's going to be the same, do not go back.
Yeah. Well, some people get to the point where they're like, well, you know, it just, I don't want to be alone.
That's horrible.
Like, being alone is sucky. So they're like, oh, well, at least the familiar evil.
Don't even get me started.
Like, going
on that.
back to the thing that was not so bad. Maybe it wasn't so bad. You know, maybe I just thought it would be better, or I could do better. And now,
so you're gonna,
that's what a lot of people
compromise your whole life because you don't want to be alone for however long until you find somebody that's better fit for you, is what I hear.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people end up thinking.
And you know what? Those people need to be alone because they probably can't. They don't know how to be alone.
Yeah.
Because that's horrible.
Or they feel bad.
Do you think the person, granted, this person's maybe not treating you the best, but do you think that person deserves to be with somebody who doesn't really want to be with them, who just doesn't want to be alone? I don't think anybody deserves that.
No.
I don't think people deserve to be abused or whatever, but I also don't think that you should fight fire with fire and be like, well, this person's abusing me and I don't want to be alone, so I'll just stay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
That sounds like everybody's miserable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hope we actually answered the question, because we did dive a little bit more into ours. But I think it's important because
we violate the rule, you know. But
but in the instance too, it's like you have to trust your gut.
Yeah.
Because either way, if you listen to somebody be like, don't take people back, like I could have done, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
Like I could have been like, no, Nicole, like, don't take him back. It's the principle of it.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to look like this. Like, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
But in my gut, I was like, this is a good man. He's just going through a hard time. He loves me. Yeah. And that's what kept me, you know, coming back to you. Yeah. All those times where you tried to run away from me. I'm just kidding. But
well, and it was also like we were saying, is that I didn't want to break up with you.
Right.
I
Which
felt
you
like
even said
it was
in the moment. You literally said
I
that.
feel like it's something I need to do. It's not something I want to do.
Right.
And,
You
and
were
it was
trying
also
to
like,
protect me by doing something that was hurtful. But I get
Right.
the
But that
I get
was-
the idea behind it.
yeah.
But in those instances, you know, like I said, you have to see how you feel about the situation. If it's about your relationship and your guys are breaking up, like you said, don't go back. It's going to be very hard to fix.
Yeah, because you could have fixed it when you had the relationship. Right? That's what I'm saying is that it's not going to suddenly magically be fixed.
Right.
If you have issues you didn't work through, then if you do get back together, you're going to have to work through those issues.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be easy. So
Right.
if you didn't do it, why didn't you do it when you could have?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it came down to that.
Because it would have been worth it to you in that instance too. If you
Right.
got to a point of breaking up,
Yeah.
besides like your situation where you thought that you were doing it for me, if you're breaking up with somebody because you don't want to be with them,
Right.
done. There is no take backsies.
Yeah.
Like, even if they come back and they want to do everything, I don't think you should do it.
Yeah,
Now,
I
if
agree.
it's an outside circumstance, like yours where you're like, I'm trying not to hurt you while I'm processing this, or like, I have to move away for college,
Yeah.
but I love you and you genuinely, you know, certain things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it feels right to you. You don't
Yeah.
have to, but if it feels right to you. But if it's
Yeah.
about your relationship,
Or if it's like you don't
I wouldn't
ski,
risk it.
but now you do ski. So
If someone breaks up with you because you don't ski, you tell them to kick rocks because you can't fix that.
yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully,
Yeah. And a lot of times too, the thing is too, you don't want to be like the default choice as well, right? So it's like a lot of times if someone breaks up with you and then they come back to you,
Right.
it's because they're like, oh, well, actually,
they're
I
still
guess
there.
I'm not as much of a stud as I thought I was. It's like, or yeah, I guess you know, you weren't that bad. Like it's like, you know, it's like,
Absolutely not.
No, that's not the
Yeah.
that's not the one. That's not the thing. It's like let me just see what else is out there. And if I don't find anything better, well then, hey, you know, hello again.
that should go
I
without
missed
saying
you.
that is not good. Do not do it. Is it time for
Yeah,
our
I guess our
thing for the week?
Better than